survive this potentially. Meanwhile, Bushido as well. Shro goes down as the first player in game here. That's just so unfortunate. Yesterday it was the Shro show, but so far in this day here, he could be the first man to be going on. Anybody's just trying to kind of swing around, and Celtic does look to be able to get out of dodge.
Heavy weapons guy, not so scared anymore for game number 1. Throw down. Man, still trying to do something about Bushido being a nuisance up at the top. Both teams really want to kind of rotate in on the north side of the circle. Understandably so, considering that it's usually a nice wide wrap. But sometimes you do bump into other teams going for the same kind of rotate, especially on Miramar, where there are basically like a few channels of rotation. People really do technically want to stick to the road, not necessarily go over some of these hills, especially if you've got coupes and things like that. The hills become some way where you can just flip very easily. I think less so in TPP, but still, it's very possible.
Yeah, for sure. It's. I mean, there's still going to be spots where it's difficult just because how the terrain works, and you're going to be delayed a little bit. But there are still these sort of highways where people traverse a lot, and that's where we see a lot of the compounds being close to as well. So you have to figure it out. And that's why we see so much drive scouting, even more in TPP, where the teams they're like, okay, we need to figure out how many, if there is any teams in the compound, and how many there is, because if we get close enough, if a lot of people start shooting, there's going to be a 2 or 3 man or 4 man in there. If someone is hiding, we could crash it as a 4-man and take that away, right? And that's really how you're utilizing that. But you're also able to get so much information in TPP driving, because you can just look around and see so much while you're at high speed, right? So you're taking a huge amount of advantage of that. So, but dope, they are setting up shop here. And another thing you could do is you could really bait people in and just set up a fantastic trap for that to spring. And now dope, they are looking to do that on 108R.
I feel like that shot was a little early, actually, coming from X-Razor, as now ADR's fully tipped off. They're running away. I was hoping maybe they would commit a little bit more to the compound foe without dope to kind of exploit them, but not to be the case. 100 ADR goes over the road and tries to go for something. They are one, though. Keeps on over as well. Does see them, has to fall back, though. Giving away your position like that means that nades are probably very imminent. And both teams going to exchange a few here.
Again, is this terrain worth fighting for in this spot here? Like, this circle has to go southeast, and it's close to water. If it does, it usually springs away from this. Meanwhile, Slam and Lurix here connects a few shots on to 180R. But yeah, again, this is just peacocking. And Foot actually has gotten some information from that. They know it's probably just one guy in that compound. They could spring onto Lurix.
So actually, the first time we ever met, we were on really...
Yesterday, with the greed that they had on our angle, obviously splitting in copy-paste compounds and getting out of dodge with it with 3 guys towards the late game. That was impressive to say the least. But yeah, here they are again with a greedy split, James.
Call it balls of steel, because a few of us and other people were saying, when are they going to get together? They didn't for a long time, and they held and they won, which was very impressive. We go all the way to truck stop by the looks of things, or at least center up near there. Still some shifts that can occur. And even a few weeks ago, obviously, we saw truck stop kind of close to ending, which was utter chaos. As you were mentioning, because it can be so easy to kind of crash into, take a few buildings here and there. There's not too much elevation there for you to be able to have an overwatch of teams coming in to be able to punish them if they do crash in as well. So definitely some teams might commit.
Yeah, I enjoyed the taco shop shenanigans that we saw.
Oh yeah, the taco shop.
That was great. That was really good things. Lucarux, though, he could be getting one here. PDD goes down. That's a fantastic use of utility here. The combination with the stun grenade and the grenade to take him down. And that is VK losing one player. VP standing strong here on the southern side. Now Slam is out to defend this spot here. They are looking to get a little bit more closer together here, taking shot to win or die, James. And let's see if they can actually get it. Meanwhile, Redline takes down T-Bone.
Big moves for Bushido, trying to go towards truck stop as well. By the looks of things, trying to thread the needle at the same time. The Leventa takes down Celtic. Already one casualty gone and done. Existence finishes that off. But an attempt on a crashing on the north side of this. There's already win or die that's in there. And maybe a little bit of Slam in there as well. They've come in next to Mogo. I think Mogo wants to kind of get out of dodge here. I like that anticipated move. Just get back to your teammates. Don't want to be alone in that building, considering you know that 3 have slammed into Slam.
Could be another set of taco shop shenanigans here. That could be the case. I would love that. It's a fun building. The kind of saloon layout is pretty fun too. So let's see how that works out for them. And I kind of like where Bushido's sitting up here, like this northern side. If it goes on the northwest side of the road, you're going to be in that last spot inside truck stop, and you have to kind of run up. But I don't see that happening. I feel like it's going to be ending that southeast side, like south of Foot, east of Slam, where they have set up already. And they have the highest priority, obviously, being looting in this area here. So obviously they're going to be taking that spot. BB team on this western side, playing the slow style that we know they are. And who else are they going to be running into than Ascent, that are playing the exact same style, basically? It's so often we see these teams on the outskirts of the circles, waiting for that third circle to pop, especially on Miramar and even on Rondo, to see where we're going to be going, because they know the circle so well.
And if the teams have been watching the kill feed, you don't even have to be paying that much attention to it. You know that already Geek has lost one, Foot has lost one. That is going to fuel the desire for these teams to try and get this catch-up going. Start of day 3, still 6 games to play. Red line, looking over at Bushido. Can't really see too much here. Oh, shots coming in from Mogor from the distance from Slam, so anybody down in truck stop now is kind of in a little bit of a symbiotic relationship for the moment, making sure, well, let's try our best to make sure no other teams are going to try and get into truck stop, especially if the circle starts bearing down on us.
Twisted Minds as well. We talked about them a little bit here, what they're going to be able to do today, but very slow style from them here. Southwest side, they have some space ahead of them that are not occupied currently, and they can move in. That's a full foreman here and a couple of cars and a couple of vehicles, and that's going to be fine for them, but they are not really in this kind of high priority land. No good shots connecting here, though, from Hakatori and Avi taking on BB team.
All right, circle southeast of truck stop. So truck stop becomes a lot less inviting now. See, Ascend is already in cars on the move. They're going to try and thread the needle below truck stop and maybe dip in to some of those roadside edges, kind of probably east of Hope, I would imagine, or maybe even try and take the saloon away from Hope, which could actually work out. We'll see.
Yeah, Saloon needs to not be greedy here and about taking shots at Ascent, trying to push them away here, and Ascent might realize that it's the Saloon team that's out here being greedy about it. Nitro comes out, jumps, takes some shots as well. Barrel in hand, can he connect? No. Tires pop though, it takes bullets. In return, Nixie's getting breached here by Twisted Minds. This is huge.
Love him peeking out of the car, still in the car, shooting through the door. Hello. Virtus Pro really want a little bit of revenge on that, maybe, as Twisted Minds has actually gone for that big crash in. Nitro still holding down the saloon. Looks like the 2-2 split now here for Hope, Hands of Hope, which makes a lot of sense. Good nade. Catching Batulins on the outside of this. He should be able to crawl in, maybe, and get a res off, but really depends on if the rest of Virtus Pro is going to be aggressive on it, but it doesn't look like it right now.
No, he's alone there. Luca just managed to get an absolute Kobe off, but he's not following up on it. Nabat here, Hands of Hope, former teammate of PUBG back in 2023. And this guy, experience is in there, but it's good to see him up here. The highest level shot coming in. Melman turns it. And this is looking like lost hope now.
I love that everyone's just staying in cars when they're shooting, and even in a prone position, a standstill position of these cars, they're still staying in the cars, just shooting their things out. Slow Jacket has gone. Molotov to BB team, actually, with Bestlocker shutting down Navi hard. Filthless is down, though. Molotov's going to try and trade off against this. He's on that little shack, moving along with the car as well. Positioning over to the rock to see if he can find an alternate angle for this. Maybe a flash forward.
Good done.
See if he can really kind of breach this and shut down Navi completely.
And this is points needed with the team that they're competing directly against here with this pistol. Only 60 HP though. Cannot connect so far. Molotov also 66 HP only. Oh, nade in hand here. Can he make something happen inside? Oh, good nade coming in. Hakatori does bleed out, and meanwhile, he's trying to make sure they have a foot in the door, make sure they can kind of move with the circle. As the split circle pops, the damage is going to come in even higher. Now has to get this last one. Can he connect? Oh, yeah, spotted. Nice. Molotov takes everything here. BB team is down. And I think they might be able to get Phil first as well if they're extremely quick about it, or even throw him in the car. I'm not sure. But yeah, let's see how they're going to be able to do so. Winner Guy looks to be holding them out though.
Now blue pressure will be rising as we have our circle shift now, and Truckstop still in. Hard shift northwest means that it will be favouring the three-man of Ascend. If they can do something with that Brexco, they will be buzzing for this one. At the same time, win or die, still in four-man here, trying to fight off against Gladiators. Flash goes forwards, Gedrock does get blinded. He moves on it, around that smoke there to try and have something happen. Does Levante, but goes back into the smoke.
Such a smart, coherent play from him. Like, they are playing around this utility extremely well. Gedrock jumps in the car. See if he can get away here. 33% HP only. Millman takes down Rocks, and now he is driving straight back to the other guys where the smoke's already deployed. Oh, well played. And that's what you get when you're in TPP. You can see your teammates quite easily. If that was FPP, that's a knock instantly. BB team, they did end up losing Phil first, unfortunately, but still, being on this west side here, in this side where the hard shift came towards, they're probably going to be able to get a lot of points if they're able to clean up some of the teams that is ahead of them here, James. But yeah, it is very, very occupied on this western side. You have Gaming Gladiators, Twisted Minds. In the saloon, you have Hope, you have Win or Die, BB team. So many teams so close. Eventually, in this spot here, just south of the truck stop, this ridge that are there, eventually is only going to be able to get two teams on it. Mad Negative, though, that's an insane nade, James.
Yeah, trying to do a little bit more damage here. Yeah, but MG3 in hand. Actually, there's two MG3s in play, one in the distance as well. Another nade tries to go forward against them, but not really connecting with too much there. As Mossboard, I think they're stuck and they don't want to have to parachute off of this. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think they want to vault up ahead towards that. They don't want to get the high ground and peek out and kind of expose their top body here. But Slaven does have an MG. I think Naleb is lost. Yeah, Boosting is going to get that. And Mad Negative smoked himself. This Mossboard has an ace in hand. Good shots here. Only level 2 helmet, but 3 vest. But he's only peeking above with his head. Mad Negative trying to get a little bit closer here. He's in a really good spot for jiggle peeking there. Foot considering, are we just going to try to defend? Or are we going to get out and get involved here? I feel like they want to take the control where VAD is on the southern side. Staying here is not going to pay off eventually. It's going to delay them too long.
Yeah, it does make you wonder. That warehouse has its weaknesses due to the fact that the north side is a little bit of an overlook against it, as BB team getting some shots towards them as well. They are normally the edge gaming warriors. However, it might be difficult here with the potential for a pincer coming in from Win or Die as well as Gladiators on their south side. So they've got to be very careful about this and make sure that they've got utility available. Aduzi's making a move. They understand there's a bit of desperation here for them to really do something, knowing that there'll be a team coming in from truck stop.
Was this too aggressive? I'm not sure. Extends Dante on this same ridge here. Gets Molotov. Dusi can peek out. Extends holding that angle as well. Good shots coming in. Good peek from Extends. The information you're able to get from being in TPP is just too good. That ridge was too strong. Melman knows there's only one guy knocked there. They're going to be able to confirm here. We did get a knock onto Extends from this backside here. Twisted Mind's getting involved now, James.
And at the same time, Geek getting ripped apart on the south side. Good for the rest of the lobby as Dante and Melman still looking that way. 180 yard down and out. Pains and the boys deal with that. BB team down as soon as Win or Die crest the hill. We kind of expected the pincer maneuver coming in, but they're actually putting in some damage here against Gladiators as well. They're on the warpath.
Yeah, they're taking the control. They know that they have that back screen. They can focus on everything ahead of them. This ridge is so strong. Shots are coming in from multiple angles here. Even Twisted Minds is trying to pincer them. This looks like a burger you don't want to be in. You don't want to be the patty as the Gaming Gladiators is right now. They have to fight to get in. And there's a team ahead of them in the saloon that's going to be holding them out. To example, finds the remainders of GK Esports. They got an 11th place with no placement points and only 1 kill. That is massive for everyone trying to chase here. Foot, no kills so far, but still 3 men alive. They could make something happen with the amount of control they have on the northern side.
Especially since it was Twisted Minds who was also trying to scramble for some points to join what is effectively that middle to top pack, right? They are just on the cusp of it and doing all right for themselves. Anybody takes down Iroh, though. Bushido is caught on the side of this mountain. Could be a bit difficult. If you're going to throw down any smokes or anything like that, they may bounce in a problematic way. He falls all the way down. Metabay takes huge advantage of that, understandably so.
Oh, that's just so unfortunate. This exact spot here, you can slide so far. That's exactly what happened here. Now Bushido, 2 kills and down to just Metabay. That's a good nade. Good amount of damage done. 5 damage per second from the blue zone, but he has a blue zone backpack, and now he has to start healing quite a lot. More shots come in. Didn't connect. Anybody does go down too.
Chaos. Don't know about this for Metababe. He needs to go for another heal, but his time is running out. Yes, it is boosting. I mean, he already knew where they were before. He was peppering some shots that way too. Brilliant nade for him. As now, yeah, technically very, very powerful. Pixelic's just going to hold this angle for a little while and then use Vardenatesy as his anchor point. Once he realizes, okay, well, my time's done. Oh my days.
Full automatic. This guy is just too good at the game. Like, it's just annoying to look at how good he's able to control it too. You just get destroyed. Like, Arctic has spotted Presenti here. Win or Die and Slam are going to be engaging. Oh, third party from this side. Levante gets involved. Gaming Gladiators, that's going to be great on the money here. Presenti goes down. Win or Die down to just 2 players now. Slam can take advantage of this. Nice. This is a fantastic peek, but he turns on him. And he gets third party actually from this side. That's huge. Win or Die goes down 9th, and we're into the placement points.
I thought it was going to be an MG3 absolutely blasting him at the same time. Big power through from Levante and Gladiators here, knowing that they need to make a move from this west side. It's worked out pretty well, significantly, in fact, with the saloon now being theirs for a moment. They still need to make a move a little bit later on, though. More shots coming in from Win Without Dope against a very far target. Ascend has been able to exist underneath some of these fights that are going on. It's been perfect for them after the fact where they threaded the needle south of where Truck Stop was.
Man goes out in 7th place, also in placement points now. Slam, as we were talking about here, James, this, I'm not sure this is going to work out. Pixelic with a Fama is holding this. They have to get out of this ridge here. They have a car maybe available to them. I don't know if all the tires are on, though. No helmet for Artix. This is going to be unfortunate. Is it worth it to go in and get this other car? I feel like it is. So one of the tires is popped on it. Utility coming in here, being committed from foot. Not connecting too much just yet. Boostic knows where it's coming from. He's going to turn that in. No, that's just an unfortunate time to go in. One more nade coming in, and he's hurt by the blue. And Artix is going to be going down. That's fantastic for foot. They might be able to take the majority of the control here off this northern side. X-rays there. Side them. Good molly, yeah. I don't think it connected. I think it's under the car.
Yeah, they just backed off for a minute, a little bit there. Mornay's go forwards. He's actually going to try and swing around on them, but Example's there on the off angle to make sure nothing more goes on here without Dope. Still trying to go for something. Example's in the distance. Did see those smokes that were there, so he's careful about peeking over a little bit more. But yeah, I think you've got to be even more careful than that. Jeez, yeah, he moved just as some shots flew over his head there.
Yeah, he's able to get so much information, but this high ground here, so many people are looking at it. And also from the distance, Example is holding it. Now he's also running in here. Lou finds him, takes it down here. The south side looks to be Twisted Minds. They're taking it by force.
Yes, they are. This could pay huge, huge rewards for them as they are gone.
7.
They are 1 is gone. I'll rephrase that. Without Dope's looking to disengage from it, but at the same time, Melman's having a little bit of a sneaky peek over what's going on here. I think Gladiators realizes what's going on that south side. Maybe they want some of this high ground. Nobody really wants to be along the road side, because that could be a very, very big vulnerability.
Perfect. Good spotted. That's Melman. Good spot for it. Example comes in to absolutely destroys Melman. As he gets taken on from the side here, Levante opens up. They're taking on aggressively here, and Twisted Mind lost 2 players. 2 of them knock. Extends bleeds out to Pains. Now Petulins has to take on Dope by himself.
Little jump peek there through some of the smoke. See what was going on. Foot is trying to do foot things, taking huge area if they can get away with it. They don't actually have that much ammo available to them. They were hanging around in that warehouse as well as the crates for quite a long time. Little flash forwards here from Twisted Minds, trying to still deal with without Dope that have been able to leapfrog forward them into that dip. M249 in hand, that could rip them apart very quickly. But it will be the orb that does it over this. Get in, taking 1. Pixelic does steal it away though. Very nicely done from the distance.
17 HP only for Petulins. Can he make something happen? Gets him down a little bit. Recap has to hit the deck as well as Skeen, and still in a spot where he can do some damage. Petulin gets the first hit off up to 75 HP now. He's a little rich, that's working just a little bit for him, but the zone has popped north. Foot is looking to be in insane control. Gaming Gladiators 10 kills for the guys. Ooh, that's huge. That's an impactful knock here for them. That could mean that they could take them on directly. One more good nade does insane damage on this Chris. Petulins opens up. He gets both of Dope, takes down both Recoup and Skeenen, and then Pixelic in the distance finds him, and Twisted Minds out in 5th place.
Shuts it down. They're not going to be too unhappy with 9 kills in the end, though. Now we have Ascend, Foot, Gladiators, Slam, No four-mans up at the moment, but Foot is trying to take the lion's share of this circle. They're the only team in this circle right now. So all they have to do is hold off some of this. And we've seen how Vard has been popping off in the last 2 days. So I would be terrified from the other teams, maybe looking for that second place, because Foot is in full control.
Yeah, 25 kills in 12 games for Vard. More than 2. Oh my god, 8C as well. With the SLR absolutely slam boosting down to the ground. And now we'll see what Gaming Gladiator is going to be able to do on that. I would be opening up. If I was them, I would be opening up, taking that away from them. But Ascent is also trying to look and see if they can delay that. Utility is being committed now. Gaming Gladiators, look at that. 25 HP only on Devante. Melman also low. Taking damage from the blue zones. Good utility here from... Oh, Painge gets down Levante. Levante is also taking down Chris. It's a 1 versus 1 on Gaming Gladiators and Ascent. Third party's coming in. The kills should be able to be stolen maybe from Slam or Foot at this point here, James.
Regardless of how many kills Ascent ends up with at the end of this game, this has been a success considering how they came in as only 3. There's now small smokes planted down here. Melman is just on top of them. Oh. Melman playing it well. 13 kills on the side of Gladiators. They are looking for the rally back. They're kind of low in the tables overall. And now they're probably going to get fully shut down on a circle like this. With Slam also going away. But a second place for Melman, we'll take it.
Yeah, and this is exactly what we're talking about, right? Foot could go in and get some big points. Melman also denying it's not worth it for the teams to fight for. They don't want to give up the points with a team that they're directly fighting for. 5 kills only, but they get 10 for the win here. That's huge. That's 15 points. Look at the leaderboard. Only 6 points now behind GK, James. That is massive.
Oh, it's happening. We have a challenger here. At the end of day number 1, you would have never predicted it, considering how ridiculous the lead was from GK. But now Foot is there to be the potential hero against GK up at the very top. Let's bring Mark back on, have a chat with him about it, as we have now Foot with the first win of the day, Mark.
Good game. Obviously, we lost T-Bone quite early, slamming from red line, long distance, but they're able to dig out. And I think when we saw the zone shift back their way, Foot's control was outstanding. Yes, they maybe didn't get all the kills they wanted to, but they got the 10 points for the win, and that is crucial. They are chipping away at the GK. We know how strong GK was on Miramar. They just caught on all that madness that happened on the south side.
Yeah, that was very, very good for the rest of the lobby, of course. Foot really taking full advantage of it. I actually didn't think this game was going to go Foot's way. I thought they were being quiet in that warehouse area as 3, just playing it steady, playing it safe. But in the end, it's not the biggest win. It's 5 kills. The Gladiators does take 13 at the top here, Martin, which was very impressive throughout this game because they were in a war.
Yeah, they get the most points out of the game here, but still, they are also catching up. So they had to move themselves into striking distance of the top 8, I would say. Now they are, but this is huge for Foot. And also, we were talking about Twisted. Can they do something? Can they get things started here? And I would say, with the amount of pressure they were on from multiple teams, they did exactly that. Huge clutch from Batulins. Slam G also kind of rolling with the punches from yesterday, kind of taking that confidence in from yesterday to today. Good amount of kills, getting good amount of placement points too.
Very well done. Very well done.
Ascent doubles their placement points though. That's huge.
Yes. You know what? Maybe your 12 is on point. Or, I'm going to say it. Is Brexico the problem? No, I'm just joking. It's just a joke.
It's some technical problems.
It's just a joke. Okay.
He is the technical problem, I think. There was something with the computer. That's the reason why I didn't get it. But yeah, this is an interesting leaderboard, guys, though. Look how close it is now. Sure, Foot, they do separate themselves, right? But we're still looking at a 5-point difference from now 6 teams, because Twisted Minds are able to catch up. We have a tie on 86 and there's a tie on 91. It is so close, and I would say it's our mid pack now. Now our top pack, our leaders, they're in the front, they're chasing. Our mid pack is extremely tight. 16 points down to Man. It's really starting to separate itself here. Our 3rd to 8th place and down to our bottom half of the leaderboard.
Yeah, awesome stuff. Obviously, we posed the question at the very beginning of this game. Could Twisted Minds properly join that pack that was trying to go for a big catch-up? And yes, they have. There were a lot of kills going their way, Mark, down at the bottom. Obviously, anybody that peeked over next to Example all of a sudden just gets deleted up until the point where Little Gladiators comes along.
Yeah, exactly. It's rocked on their way to second place as well. So you'd expect Twisted Minds would have taken that also as they rotated on that southwest corner. It's crazy to see that whole left side of the table being pretty tight as well. Look, GK's not away with it yet, guys. Like, we've already seen Foot chip away at them. Again, another game, and we're potentially talking about we might have a new leader coming into these closing sort of games. And then you've got to add in the Twisted Minds. VP done well trying to hold off that bottom side. Na'Vi doing well as well. Winodai looking to try and close out the win with that sort of pincer move in on BB. I was interested to see that GK and Foot Esports lost a player quite early, and I felt like BB team, Slam G, Na'Vi, Win or Die was like all reading the kill feed going, this could be our game. We can now potentially go and take it. So I like that kind of momentum we're seeing from these teams.
Yeah, I considering who died early in this game, absolutely. You have to try and take it with both hands for a game like this. A difficult game, though, as well, Martin, when you look at the terrain and how teams are playing things now. Obviously, Ascend's victory or success in this game came from just finding a middle spot, laying low for the most part in this game, whereas everybody on these edge sides, all coming in wounded, all having a bit of a rough time in some of those fights. Nobody came in completely scratch-free for this one.
No, but for Ascent as well, it was another case of full Ascent because they did have to go through multiple teams that had to get close by it. Once they saw that circle pop, they were just going to be like, okay, we need to get into this spot. They actually set up a really nice car fort with some deployable cover as well. They had control of that spot for quite a while. I felt like potentially if they didn't have that much pressure from like multiple teams on the southwestern side, they could have been the team that came out in control from that south side and then maybe taking on Foot actually and gotten more out of it. But yeah, they maximized as much as they could. Fourth place is very respectable if you have, you know, 2 or 3 teams that's kind of focusing on you with both utility and everything.
Yeah, we always talk about when teams would go to a middle spot, be it too early or too late. And for a spot like this for Ascend, it did feel like a just right, like a Goldilocks timing for it, right? Like all of the kind of spots that you could use as utility to get thrown down into their trench would have been susceptible to other teams shooting at those spots if somebody tried to scramble for it, like the high grounds above them, Mark. So good timing by them. With Brexco back on board, maybe we can see them getting even bigger jump ups.
Yeah, Brex is in, and you're right. The time was, they just sort of threaded the needle by teams. Actually, early on, they were on a 2-1 split as well, so they were being quite greedy with some of the terrain. When the zone obviously confirmed out that they're going to be in the end zone, that's when we saw them collapse. That's when we saw the car fort. But well played, we said it before. What worries me, sometimes Ascend have the middle spot and they go to the outside edge to play it. Well, actually, done pretty well. Find yourself, hunk yourself in to a location. They can fight. We know they can put points on the board when it comes to kills. It's just a placement they've been lacking, and maybe this game will show them that actually sometimes that it's the right timing. If you can get to that middle spot, you might be able to bag some more points.
Maybe. But going into our next mirror mark, DK is going to be mad, as now the catch-up is definitely on for our previous winners. Foot Esports puts themselves in the theatre of conflict against those number 1 team. As one more mirror mark, then we'll be moving on to our wildcard maps, and then Erangel to round things out. Anything to say, Mark, about Miramar before we get in?
Or is it going to be explosive as game number 1? Potentially. Hopefully we don't see as much of that angry south shift. I would have loved to have seen Taco Tuesday shops at the end, but that wasn't going to be the case. Maybe we can get a little bit more of a wilder zone. Look, keep calm, keep cool, collective. Let's see if Foot Esports can go back to back.
Yeah, maybe a wild circle. We will see. If they do go back to back, we know where that sits them. That will sit them at a cool number 1, unless GK goes absolutely radio rental with all the kills. The potential points that could come their way. We've seen them do it before. Will we see them do it again? It is time to go. That's not the motto. It's land, loot, romance or something now, isn't it? Anyway, we have got game number 2 of day 3 on the board, as we only have 5 more games remaining all across Partona. We start our plane path. Or it's actually a little bit further away than that. We're just here at Partona anyway, watching it. Martin, tell me to shut up.
No, I'll take over. We have a very similar plane path, though, James. Kind of starting on the southwestern side, slightly a different angle, doesn't matter. We're still going up towards the Terra Branca, and this time it's ending over Camavilitar, so it's very, very similar. And it's hugely benefiting to the teams that are landing early, that's coming out super early. well, none really going out super early. GK and 180R are the teams that's going out start. Nobody in Valdemar at this point here. Kind of surprised we don't see any teams kind of flex out and say, okay, it's not worth it. We want to get that 1 minute extra worth of the looting. But yeah, Foot started fantastic here, and yeah, if you say so, Mark, back-to-back, that could be the thing. If they go back-to-back, I'll take another bet. I think T-Bone will call in for a cheeky Nando's for dinner tonight. What do you think, James?
Oh, yeah. Every Brit's dream, Martin. Gosh. I'm lying. Let's not get on this again. Oh, dear me.
Fantastic, though. A hugely different circle. And look at that. We're talking... one full team inside the circle. A little bit of Twisted Minds and Geekies as well, but one full team is in. All shots connect on Metabay here with an M16. Nothing much else out of that one. But yeah, this is really the question. Now if you're a BB team, you got to figure out, okay, how greedy do we go about this? They know when they popped out of the plane path, they were like, okay, there's nobody in this area. We're going to have the pick of the litter for these first priority compounds, for this first circle here. And if I know them right, I see them coming up to like the Overlook compound east of Brickyard. I see them coming up to some of these kind of high ground spots where they're able to get so much information and maybe take some of that kind of further western area. Because you have to remember, this whole mountain range on the western side is unplayable area, and it's going to be pushed out of Circle 4, so you kind of have to take that into consideration too.
Yeah, and I mean, for the most part, whenever we see circles around these areas, you'd almost always rather one of the high ground spots than some of those low ground ones. We see sometimes eventually teams like take the consolidatory prize and take a compound down in the trench, and sometimes it does work out. However, transitioning away from them, if the circle does not favor you, becomes fraught with danger. So that is definitely something that these teams have to consider. Already, Bushido is the 3-man. One player was unable to connect, so they are on the move quickly. I can understand it in a similar vein to what we had for Ascend in the previous game. If Bushido can find themselves a good center spot, maybe as early as possible, they can just hunker down and hope for the best.
Yeah, I kind of want to go back to a little bit about this full Ascent, threading the needle. Threading the needle, not the needle.
The needle?
It's not the eagle. The bald eagle is coming in. No, threading the needle in this case here, it's something that we don't talk too much about, and I kind of want to start a little bit as we might see a pull up here for Twisted Minds. But the timing that they do these pushes and senses, they are pre-driving into the circle. So when the circle pops and the majority of the teams are going to be looking at the map real quickly and their focus is going away, that's when they're already driving, already kind of sitting into the circle. And that's what you can really take into your games at home as well when playing PUBG. You should be driving before the circle pops towards the center of the zone. Shot coming in from Celtic, though, towards Perfectic. Oh, it does not connect anything. Does he stop? No, he continues, actually. He's continuing over here towards the concretes. Or maybe even taking the compound even further south. This is not a bad spot to hunker up here for Twisted Minds if they want to start out here.
Yeah, the rest of the team coming along as well. Even when we've had situations where it's been like as far west as circles can go, actually some of this terrain is very interesting to play. It dips alongside roads, huge like high ground positions alongside the western unplayable that we've seen being exploited in the past as well. I've got to agree with the rotations and sentiments. I actually, Ascend for a long time used to be the kind of big senders to middle spots. That was where their bread and butter was well and truly buttered. It was very, very good by them in the past. It won them a lot of points in some of our, I would say, early 2024 seasons. But some more shots here. Still, Bushido is up against a big lion in Twisted Minds. Be careful.
No tires anymore. Oh, connects that as well. On to Bushido. They're already down to a 3-man. They lost one of the players early on. And here we see an extremely early... I like this. I like this from Gaming Gladiators. This could be paying off for them. Let's see what they end up doing. They need to get cars though, but Gaming Gladiators are coming in behind Perfectix. Is he... Oh, he might have seen the shadow from the parachute there.
Yeah, he may have. And also, I think Dante has taken one of those very west high ground positions near the unplayable that I was mentioning earlier. So it definitely can provide an overlook for some of these teams. But it is still that 3-1 split. Bushido is deciding You don't want too much of this. Maybe they're just repositioning their cars here to keep them a little bit more safe against what's coming their way. Gladiators is very separated across this. They could be picked off here. I'm scared for Gladiators a little bit.
And that's one of them. Millman gone down. As Perfectic finds one. Extends though, turns it around on Perfectic and he goes down. It's kind of falling apart a little bit here for Twisted Minds. Losing one player this early for like these compounds are not guaranteed in the slightest. But Tulish go down, takes down Millman now, and Celtic pushing up. Shots coming in, takes down Extensive, and it goes down as well. Oh, that's just so unfortunate. Gaming Gladiators falling apart here, James.
I mean, do Gladiators think that they were here too late? That's a good shot. But whilst we're watching this, yeah, that's kind of crazy. Whilst we're watching this unfold, though, at the same time, for Gladiators, like, Melman's high ground position is strong, but it doesn't have overlook on where those fights were going on. So do they think that they were there too late and maybe they had to go for some kind of wild play? I'm not so sure.
Like, if you're taking an emergency pickup, like, personal preference is I would go really far southwest, take cars, and try to get into some of the spots, because they were there early enough to get priority compounds, but now they're left to just one man of Game Gladiators, Dante alone on the western side. That's unfortunate. Iro here and the guys, 2 kills on the board for them.
The thing about Dante's spot is, I'll stop after this, is that if he's lying down, if he's prone, nobody can see him. And if the circles come that way, he'll get some placement.
It's like Batu's rug.
Yeah, but I just don't know whether or not like he's going to get the circles coming his way. So it's still only phase 1.
Yeah, and it's kind of rare to see this hard Western strings on this, especially this one here. Usually it would at most center up around where BB team is, and yeah, let's see how far he does get though. Man is also setting up here. I was impressed with them yesterday. Like, even more impressed than I am with how good their logo is, but that's another story. But I was impressed with how well they were able to do in some of the games, but it's really hit or miss for these guys. But still, they're 70 points, only 22 points behind 3rd place. That's a huge difference in terms of prize pool if you're able to push yourself up there.
You have no idea how cool I thought sharks were when I was a kid, and it never ended. I still think they're cool. Did you think they were cool when you were a kid?
I mean, they're the ultimate predator for thousands, if not millions of years, right?
Yeah, they're basically living dinosaurs.
That's cool.
That's cool, all right?
How much did you want a small shark in a tank at home? Water tank?
I mean, that sounds ambitious, but...
I mean, when you were a kid, you might have thought, like, I can get one. It's the coolest animal ever.
Maybe, but I mean, just them being living dinosaurs is amazing. Them alongside the entire NPL cast, it's awesome to see that, you know, there's more dinosaurs in this world.
You can't hit me with a curveball like that. Dope. They're trying to defend this compound here as we have Salam. They're trying to consider, okay, are we going to go in here? Are we going to fight this? This first one, it's not worth it. It's not really worth it. This circle is so predictable in phase 2 and 3 that if you're committing to one place, losing cars, losing tires, you're going to have a hard time getting to one of those spots. Especially these guys that have this amount of experience, this amount of knowledge of this map in this area. It's not worth it.
No, definitely not. As 180 up, still going to be moving on around. Where have they got at the moment? Not much room for them. They have compounds, but down in this south spot, I'm expecting maybe a swing. Interesting. Redline is already E-pick-upping. It's a very, well, because it kind of navigates to the center of it, it looks like a very short E-pickup on the map, but technically it's being popped at a time where they can react to the next circle, so I would like that really a lot.
They can even see the circle pop and decide if it goes north, we're not going to take it, even though they are close to it. It doesn't do that, so they can actually go high ground. But this is one of the circles I'm talking about. Very predictable, right? We have some of these high grounds that are considered land ratio. We have this western side that are considered land ratio, kind of still in effect. So let's see what ends up happening here. I could see this happening in a ending southwest, obviously-ish of Montenegro, but let's see where the next circle goes here. And let's see where Redline goes with this emergency pickup here. They could full 4-man land on some of these teams that are really greedy, having only 1 or 2 guys in the compounds.
Yeah, trying to exploit early splits is something that you can definitely do with a move like this. However, it means that you will not have any cars available to you. Man is already bailing out of that position, and a few more shots come in from the reinforcing shots there. And red line all spread out across all buildings. GG, this is ours now. Get out of here.
Yeah, that's exact perfect execution of a second circle pop emergency
Love it.
pickup. Yeah, I really like that. And even in a compound like this, like unless it goes north in a really bad spot, really kind of super bad spot for them, they
bad
could
spot, yeah.
a bad spot. They could just run on foot south, east, and west. But north, bad. Everywhere else, really good. They don't need cars from that. I think they're also considering that a little bit. GK close to them, though, they are trying to keep cars safe. This is one of the better compounds, in my opinion, where you're able to both keep cars, but also have a lot of information, go out, defend on the ridges. And if you get shot at a lot, you can stay inside the houses and still defend from the windows.
On Dante watch, it's one of the better circles he could have got for that phase 2 shift, but still, I'm still expecting shifts away from him eventually. So Dante watch, I think, won't last the whole game. Let's put it that way.
I'm kind of hoping it to go west, right? Because the amount of points that he could get is actually not bad. With the teams that are usually crashing on along the road, you have these ridges on both sides. You have some spots that's kind of playable, right? But yeah, at this point, he's just trying to hold out a little bit now. With ascending the boys, let's see what they're going to be doing with that one.
They put the needle again.
I think only Brex is on it. He went high ground, I think. But yeah, let's see.
Forwards.
Yeah, a little bit boring though. I would like to see him going on the really high ground spot. But I mean, you're able to farm so much if you go on the high ground on that spot, because next circle could go north, and sure, it's then gonna go away from the west and the northern side later. But still, it's kind of in a spot where they can farm a little bit, right? And if they had this fantastic start that they did, considering how many placement points and kills they got compared to what they did in the previous 12 games, this could be the start for them and their campaign to get in to maybe top 8.
It's going to be a stretch.
That's a stretch.
It is going to be a stretch. I would like to see it, though. I would love to see kind of some wild moves coming on from some of these teams towards the bottom. As for a circle like this, though, again, we're back to classic EMEA PUBG. People have their spots. We are waiting for a circle shift. We do have an E-pickup that is going to be deployed by the looks of things. Looks like Slam G all the way up northeast side of Monte Nuevo in the fields. So they
Good timing, too.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect timing. And considering where they are right now, I mean, this would almost certainly always give them something to go for, considering how far they are